in the game like he was an impetus and momentum changer. He made that Castleford side start winning collisions and playing the ball fast to cause Wigan challenges. So I'm going to go Matt Cook as my player of the week this week. Highlight of the week?
I think there's
a young centre at Leeds.
Yes. I mean that was the most exciting moment. But I think the Gigo try at Catalans was so surprising because I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
I was expecting Saints to make it. I was expecting Saints to have something there to find something at a gap, and they just couldn't get it. And for Catalans to defend that well and him to just break out.
Yeah.
Just can't see past that.
No, that's a fair shout. I'm going to go with what I think was the best try I saw this weekend. And I think
Is it from Conrad?
I think it's the third week in a row that it's gone to the golden edge. But George Williams' try against Castleford, where Wigan were daring enough to throw some wide passes in their own territory. Oliver Gildart got outside his man. Oliver Gildart got 3 points for the Man of Steel voting on this game, actually. And probably deserved with the way he played, let's be fair, even though... Because Cass probably had so many people who could have earned 2 points, maybe, but not quite a 3 point. I'm not sure. But that try by George Williams was my highlight of the week.
So, it's time for predictions, Super Brew and Fantasy League updates.
I think I want to talk about this less than I wanted to talk about the Wigan game. I was 2 out of 6 this week. That takes me down to 66% prediction success rate for the season so far. Tim last week was 3 out of 6, so he beat me on the week, but he's only at 58% overall. Sarah and Alan, our other 2 regular co-hosts, are 67% each, so they share the lead at the moment. Cool. In the Super Brew, Tim Kilpin keeps hold of his top spot. Wakey fan Caroline Sylvester wears the yellow cap, though, so well done to those 2. In the Fantasy League, of course, Alan Bagley stays top. Sarah Morgans is up to second and scored the best weekly score with 713.
I got the golden spoon the other week. I've never had that before.
Wooden spoon.
I'm calling it the golden spoon.
Wooden
I don't care. I'm having it.
Right, fair enough. Well,
it's my spoon.
Well, that's Super League recap anyway.
You have a 66%. I've got a 61%, and yet I'm above you in the.
That's because I didn't make my picks every. That's because I don't make my picks on Super every week. Sometimes I forget.
Whatever. You are currently 34th and I am 26th, and Grandad Hodge is 18th, so we need to sort that out.
Fair enough. That is Super League round 9 well and truly covered. We're going to rattle through some other results for you lot now. Other results now from around the world of Rugby League, and we start in the Championship where it was also round 9, and we start in France. Toulouse 8, Featherstone 2. We then move to London with a Canadian flavour. Toronto 40, Sheffield 10. We had a bit of feedback on this Saturday afternoon Sky televised game. Do you want to start?
Alright, you said I was doing days, but it's fine. Carson says that Sheffield tried to stay in the game, but the advantages of being full-time came to the show at the end of each half. Gaz O'Brien's goal kick was awful, though.
I must admit I didn't see this game. I was working on Saturday afternoon. I didn't get back in time to watch this one. But David Cantrell said Sheffield away kick is just a copy of the Brixton Bulls, so I've got to support them. Good defence in the first quarter, and they were still in it at half-time. But try as they might, they just couldn't break down the Wolfpack defence, whereas their own leaked. Gadwin Springer has suddenly become huge. Is poutine a hitherto undiscovered steroid?
We'll see if he gets struck for 2 years with the drugs test. Genghis Campbell, if Blake Wallace's sidesteps and dummies gets any more flamboyant, he's going to come on the pitch with a candelabra and a silk case. Hashtag the Liberace of Rugby League.
Well done on picking up that, because I read that 3 times at lunchtime and I couldn't figure out what he was saying until the third one. Tim G Radio said, given the Wolfpack's new sponsor, will Brian McDermott and John Wilkin be doing a cover version of the Hoddle and Waddle classic Diamond Lights?
Yeah, they gave away a diamond, didn't they, at half time?
Yeah, there's not a new sponsor though. The Maple Leaf Diamond Company have sponsored them for a few years now, I think. But yeah, that's impressive. Do we know what the value and the weight and the clarity and all of that business are we're on this diamond?
Look, we're lucky we've got the fucking scores. Let's just we don't know what the diamond is. Who gives a shit?
Batley 20, Witness 18.
Paul O'Brien says, not good enough from the Vikings today. Poor attacker made some poor end of play decisions. Batley fought hard and probably just about deserved the win. Referee made some strange decisions. We need to stamp out players playing the ball into opposing players to try and win penalties. Good travelling support again from the Vikings. Onward to next week.
It was Bradford 20, Dewsbury 12 on the R-League app. Rochdale 24, Halifax 48. York 30, Swinton 20. And Leigh 46, Barrow 30. That means in the standings, Toronto lead the way on 16. Toulouse are second on 14. York and Sheffield both have 12. Leigh lead a group of 3 chasing the last playoff spot with Bradford and Halifax. They're all on 10. And Fev are still in touch on 8. Dewsbury have 5, Batley have 4, Barrow have 3, Swinton and Rochdale have 2 points. Widnes remain on 0.
I mean, that is good play from Widnes to come back from -12 this quickly.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed with this result, but I suppose with them young kids, it was never going to run on forever, that form.
No.
So they will be disappointed with this result. It was a team they would expect to beat with the way they've been playing, but there's no worry about them going down, is there? Really? No, I don't think.
Not at all. So London 30. Oh, sorry. It's you.
It's alright. It's League One. It was round 6.
London 34, Workington 32.
Do you want to take us through Dave Cantrell's fan review on this one?
Both sides evenly matched at first, despite Workington's 2 quick early tries. But once they found the Skolars' weak right, they exploited it ruthlessly for the rest of the half. 10-26 after the break, the second half was very different. Skolars defended like demons, but still took every opportunity given and almost nilled them. Brilliant match. Box smelled like someone shot themselves to death. Well,
really big headline result that though, isn't it? The London Skolars winning 34 points to 32 against them.
Hopefully they've knackered Workington for when we have them next week.
Yeah, maybe Workington were resting a few for the big game. West Wales 12, Keighley 56, Doncaster 44, Coventry 18, Newcastle 28, Oldham 22, and Whitehaven 16, Hunslet 12 were the other results. Do you want to take us through the standings, Dom?
So Hunslet stay on top with points difference, but are joined on 8 points by Whitehaven. Newcastle, Oldham, Workington and Doncaster all have 6 points. Skolars have 5 and leapfrog Coventry, who are still on 4. North Wales and West Wales are on 0 and Keighley now have -5.
Ooh. Women's Super League, it was round 1.
It was indeed.
Very exciting for the girls to get underway. The R-League app showed this game, Wigan versus St Helens, the champions of last year. They started with a loss to their close rivals, 4 points to 6, a goal kick being the difference. Adam F. Conley 87 said, what this game lacked in tries, it made up for in intensity and commitment. Both teams really had a go. Not the most flowing game with a few too many errors, but even so it was an enjoyable, and there was even some biff at the end to top it off. Yeah, one of the Wigan players got sent off, didn't she? Great to see it being streamed on the R-League app. The ladies' game on the up, and I'll definitely be heading down to the jungle to watch the Tigeresses this year. Yeah, I didn't watch this game because I was at a meeting, unfortunately, on Sunday afternoon. But
with the
sounds like it was a great contest with both teams putting their all into it, and St Helens coming up triumphant. So well done to them.
Are you able to watch it afterwards with the R-League app, or is it just stream and done? Is there any on demand?
Yeah, usually the games can be found on their YouTube channel later date, right. And then sometimes they put links through the R-League app to rewatch the games or to watch highlights of the games. I actually could have rewatched the game on Wigan TV anyway, but other things in life sometimes, unfortunately, you can't watch up rugby league all the time, I get told. But there you go. Bradford 38, Featherstone 16. Leeds big
champion! We're back! We've won! 58-4
against
Leeds.
Against Super League new girls, Wakefield Trinity.
Leeds. I'll take a win.
And York 0, Castleford 80.
Yeah, whatever, the bottle at the end.
NRL round 4. We start last Thursday. Roosters 36, Broncos 4. We move on to the Warriors 26, the hapless Titans 10. Panthers 9, West Tigers 8 in one of many 1-point games this week. The next of which we had a fan reviewing on. Seagulls 13, Rabbitohs 12. Rajan Tande got in touch. What did he have to say?
A game with a lot of errors, bad play the balls and spills in the tackle. Manly had the first 20 minutes and then gave the Souths the rest of the half by dropping the ball continually. Souths had chances to win, they missed 3 kickable goals and hit the upright with the drop goal just before the end. George Burgess made an impact and was grubby with a punch in the ruck and some roughing up the player who was already down.
And I've just realised I forgot to put the stats together for the Brit pick players, so sorry about that. Cowboys 12, Rangers 30. Carsten got in touch about this one.
Bateman and Sutton would be handy for Wigan right now, and I wish they would be there right now. We were embarrassing again.
I do know that Bateman and Sutton both went over 100 metres in this game. Eels 24, Sharks 12. Storm 18, Bulldogs 16 in another close game, and then the final 1 pointer, the Knights 12, the Dragons 13. James Graham ran his blood to water in that one for the Dragons, and they came out victorious by a point for a second week in a row. What does that mean with the standings?
The Storm are the only undefeated side left after 4 rounds. Roosters, Raiders and Rabbitohs, oh my, and Eels all have 3 wins from 4. West's Tigers, always weirds me out that. West's Tigers had a group of 6 on 4 points. The only side yet to get a win are the bottom place Titans.
That is all the results from around the world of rugby league. We're now going to cast our eye ahead to next week and make some predictions. Right, Dom, it's time for us to look at the remaining 4 games from round 10 of Super League, because of course 4 of the teams got their action out of the way early doors as they move into the Challenge Cup.
Yep.
3 games to enjoy on Sky out of the 4 Super League games we'll see this week, though. So the first one of those is Huddersfield versus Castleford on Thursday night, 7:45 kick-off for your Sky games. Which way do you see this one going?
Can't see anything other than a Castleford win by 18.
Yeah, I've gone Cast too. Maybe slightly closer on the scoreboard. Cast by 14. They're still missing some parts, but they've got a powerful side going on there. Okay. Friday, 7:45. Everyone's woken up to that.
Yeah,
Wakefield versus Wigan. I'll let you go first again.
Well, because we know what you've picked. This is going to be a lot closer than what we think, but I think I'm going to go Wigan by 6.
Wakefield are a really tough team to beat at the moment anyway, on their home patch even more, so I'm not really sure what Wigan are going to have back together for next week. I'm worried about this game. I'm going to pick Wakefield by 4.
Ooh. So then we have St Helens versus Warrington on Friday. This is the Sky game, and I've gone Warrington by 12. This will be a really good game to watch.
I hope it's an absolute cracker. I'm looking forward to getting home from Wakefield to watch this one. I'm picking Warrington to win by 5. I think Danny Richardson will kick a drop goal, have a bit of swagger like he's the cock of the world, like he seems to have all the time, and then Warrington will score a late try, and Stephen Ratchford and Josh Charlie will break the St Helens hearts.
I'm supposed to be at an after party when this is on, so I will be departing that and heading back to my hotel room for Sky Go, which takes us to Saturday, 5 p.m, also on Sky, Catalans versus Hull FC. I've gone Catalans by 10.
Identical, Catalans by 10. If Hull have picked up a couple more pack injuries, then
and a few one-match bans,
then it's not really looking good for them, I don't think. And Catalans on the home patch. I've got a backup. Sam Tompkins is playing brilliantly for Catalans at the Stade Gilbert Brutus. I'm going to go Catalans 24-14.
Which takes us on to the Challenge Cup. Great.
Yeah, we picked out a few games of the week from the Challenge Cup to talk a little bit about. And the first one of those we have to talk about is Leeds hosting Workington. Super League versus League One.
I hope we win. I hope we win this.
You will win this. You will win this.
Yeah, we've got, I think, Hurrell, Merrin and Lola here are all out. I think they're... What?
Merrin's gone home on compassionate leave, hasn't he?
I believe that Hurrell is also in over there as well.
Wow.
That's from what somebody said on Instagram. So I think maybe they've given him a week or 2 off, but we will see. So Winders versus York. I think this could be closer than people think.
This is 2 championship teams that have both shown pretty good form so far this season. I think that'll be a really exciting game. I think they've picked it out because it's probably going to be the game where you might see the best rugby from both sides in a competitive game. I think Winders will edge it, but
I'm going York.
But that's an interesting one. And then the game that's on the BBC, we've got to mention it because there's a chance of an upset here. Thatto Heath Crusaders host the Dewsbury Rams. This is Thatto Heath's 3rd streaming game of the season so far from their Challenge Cup run, which is fantastic. A testament to them and how well they're doing. But I don't think they're going to have enough to beat Dewsbury over the piece.
We will see. The Women's Super League game of the week, Wigan versus Castleford.
Yeah, Castleford came out of the blocks hot, didn't they?
Oh, yes.
Wigan have got a few things to fix up, but they're at home, they're the reigning champions. It's 2 of the semi-finalists from last year.
Castleford will win.
Yeah. Maybe not. Becky Greenfield will bounce back, don't you worry.
I wondered how long it'd be before you mentioned that. NRL Brit Picks, Rabbitohs versus Warriors Saturday 5am. Sharks versus Roosters Saturday 10:30.